What is up? What is up? What is up, everyone? Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me know if my mic is clear. How y'all doing tonight? How is everyone doing tonight? Did y'all enjoy the games this weekend? We still got a couple of that's still going, huh? I can hear you. All right, cool. What's going on, y'all? Decided to come on tonight. I know we're a little late tonight, but y'all ain't doing nothing. Y'all at home chilling. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the SWAC a little bit tonight. We'll talk about the SWAC. My sound effects working. We good.
Yeah, ho. Oh my God.
All right. You are fine. Yes, great games. Yes, great games. All right, let me pull up the scores. What's going on right now in the SWAC? Because I was looking at the scores just a minute ago. Grambling, I thought y'all was gonna win today. What's going on, Grambling? What is going on? Grambling is still losing the preview 27-14. What is going on with Grambling? I thought y'all was gonna get that G this week. The G is not gonna be on the helmet. I love Grambling though. I just like to mess with y'all. Yes, great game. So tonight we're gonna talk about Campbell. Campbell showed up and showed out today. They showed up and showed out. They put a beating on NCCU. Stephen Campbell said Grambling just threw a pick. Golly. Oh yeah, we gotta talk about Lane College too. That shocked me too. I actually think Eddie George might be on out the door, y'all. I don't know if Eddie George I don't know. You know, it's looking kind of rough for Tennessee State. I don't know if Eddie George is gonna survive. You losing to Lane College, you losing to a D2 school like that. I don't know. I'm a little nervous for Eddie George. I really am. I need a recommendation for a good hotel in Jackson for homecoming. My first time in Jackson. Let me see. The best hotel is gonna be like the Hilton out there off County Line. But it's a lot of hotels. You can get something nice in Pearl. Well, it's some good hotels in Jackson, downtown Jackson. You can find a good hotel in downtown Jackson as well by the stadium. It's not too far from the stadium. But usually a lot of people stay at the Hilton out there by County Line. Or they get an Airbnb. You know, a lot of people get Airbnb. So from what I've noticed when I go home for homecoming, they get a lot of Airbnbs. Yeah, Flowwood is good too. Flowwood has some good hotels as well. He better hurry up. Yeah, I'm scared for Eddie George, man. I'm scared for him. I am scared for Eddie George. But yeah, Campbell put a beating on NCCU today. And man, their linemen, their offensive linemen, their defensive line, they look great. So Jackson State definitely has their work cut out. It's not gonna be an easy game. Maurice Gordon said JSU offense can't come out playing slow like we normally do, because I do not think they will be a good come from behind team. Yeah, I mean that argument definitely could be had, because Campbell, I don't think they're not gonna make mistakes like that, and they're gonna capitalize on Jackson State mistakes. So they definitely got their work cut out for them. And then their coach, they have a good coach. They got high level recruits. So man, I don't know, Jack State fans, y'all better pack this stadium for homecoming and make sure y'all are loud and y'all give Jackson State the home advantage that they need. Central had poor coaching. I don't even know if it was poor coaching, y'all. I mean, they just got manhandled up front. I mean, when your offensive line is getting manhandled and your defensive line is getting manhandled, there's really nothing you can do. You can barely throw the ball. You can't really run. There's nothing you can do. You're just getting whooped. That's all it is. Like Campbell was able to run the ball. They was able to do whatever they wanted to do. But I'm definitely ready to see that game. That's going to be a good game. A lot of people are going to be watching that game. And y'all see all these huge outlets are coming out the woodwork talking about Coach Prime and Deion. Coach Prime having these job opportunities at 2 schools. I just got an email from Yahoo Sports. I just got a notification from them. They talking about Deion Sanders has 2 job offers. Like, come on, man. They are going out their way to try to get Prime out of the HBCU ranks. They are going out their way to do this. And it's getting on my nerves because it's like, y'all think y'all gonna replicate what he's doing at Jackson State. You're not. It's 2 different cultures. What he's doing at Jackson State, the whole swag, the whole vibe that he has at Jackson State, he's not. That's not gonna happen at Georgia Tech. No, it's 2 different cultures. All the where my theme music playing, playing hip hop songs and all that kind of stuff. I don't even see Georgia Tech really doing stuff like that. And then if they do, it's gonna look so phony and fake because it's gonna really look like y'all just doing this just to appease him. Y'all ain't this not really y'all culture. Y'all just doing this just to appease him. But man, I wish they would go on and stop that junk. I think Coach Prime is gonna stay at Jackson State. He wants to make Jackson State into a monster. This is his legend, pretty much. And I think he's gonna follow through with it. I don't think he's going anywhere. Ain't no way. I don't care how many black students Georgia Tech had. Yeah, right. They're like, oh, well, Georgia Tech has a lot of black students. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. You must ignore them. They will not stop and will not happen. Yeah, they won't stop. They're gonna keep doing it, and then it gets clicks. Every job opening that's gonna happen in college football this year, Coach Prime name is gonna be thrown in there. And my thing is the disrespect that they have for him when they cover these stories. It's like they say, oh, he can be a good recruiter. They never talk about him as a coach. That's the disrespectful thing. I think he's a good coach, but they never talk about him as a coach. JSU rap battle be fired. Come on, you think they finna have a rap battle at Georgia Tech? That's not about to happen at Georgia Tech. I can't even see a PWI doing something like that and letting that be okay. They're not gonna. They don't even understand that culture. That USC girl gonna move her team to GA Tech. Brian got the job. Oh yeah, man, I seen that about that. The USC a lot. I seen a lot of people mad at the USC dance team. And I was trying to explain to somebody I was having a conversation about that. I was trying to explain to them they're not mad at the team or the black girls that's on the team. They're mad at that they did it at a PWI because HBCU people know how that's gonna go. Because when you're at a PWI school like that, you don't control those groups. You don't control that dance team. So what happens with Kathy and Becky and Maria comes and says, hey, I want to be on the team. And you can't say, oh, well, this is a black team. You can't do that on their campus. You're going to have to let Becky and Kathy join the team. And then when Becky and Kathy join the team and they blow up and get more followers and all that kind of stuff than you and all that, is going to be controversy. And it's just going to be a big problem. We already know how that stuff goes. And so you can't stop them from being on the team. And then when they start doing the dances and stuff, it's going to be a lot of cultural appropriation posts going on. And it's just going to be a mess. So we already know how these things go. The plan is bigger than one PWI. They want to stop the black kids from going to HBCU. It definitely seems like that to me. Roger said, I love me a Becky. Y'all are funny, man. Y'all are funny. Becky ain't coming to no HBCU unless she been around black folks a long time before. It's not only black people on the J6 though. No, I'm not talking about that. I understand that. It's not only black people on the J6. What I'm saying is at a PWI school, you probably have an influx of people that's not black trying to join that team. And when they join that team and you have a lot of non-black people doing those dances and stuff like that, that's when a lot of people are gonna be screaming cultural appropriation and stuff like that. So it'll be just one big mess. Missouri is Molly whopping Georgia. Yeah, I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked that Georgia look like they about to lose tonight. That's crazy. That's how PWIs make their money. I wish our black boys wake up. Right. Only worried about Kathy being white. That's my mom. But yeah, y'all. So let's see what Grambling doing. Has Grambling tried to come back? Cause I mean, goodness gracious, Grambling. Y'all, when y'all go put the G on y'all helmet? Grambling need to get it together. Southern got the win today. They won 59-3. That's good that they won. They beat Arkansas Pine Bluff. We also had FAMU. They won today 34-7. They beat Valley. Alabama A&M got their first win today. They beat Bethune-Cookman. Alabama State, they beat Texas Southern, which I'm shocked. I thought Texas Southern was going to win that game. But yeah, we're still in the fourth quarter with the preview A&M versus Grambling game, 27-14. But I want to hear from y'all. What do y'all think about Campbell? Do y'all think Jackson State should be worried? I want y'all to call in. Let me put the number on the screen. I have the phone lines open right now. I want to hear from y'all. I want to see what y'all think. Do y'all think Jackson State should be worried about Campbell? I think they should, because those lines look good. And, that's been a knock on HBCUs, that we haven't really put a lot of attention and detail into our line play. And so we're definitely going to be tested when we play Campbell, because they have the line and the defensive line to stack up with Jackson State. And so that battle is going to be won in the trenches. NCCU just had a bad game. It might be a little overrated. We'll see. All right, we got a call coming in, y'all. Hold on just a second. Oh. Did I hang up on you, caller? You can call back, caller. I think I might have hung up on you by mistake. Oh, no. Hold on. There you go. All right. Hold on just a second, y'all. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
This is Gabriel. What's going on, Swag?
What's going on, Gabriel?
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that, that Jackson State is going to underestimate Campbell, because, like I say, any given Saturday, you can be beat.
Right.
But at the same time, Jackson going there, and do what they're supposed to do, they'll beat Campbell. And then I was looking at a couple of games. I was looking at the Texas Southern versus Alabama State. And I was looking at also kind of like, just back and forth. Looking at what was the other one? What's that? Was that Arkansas Pine Bluff? And they got mollywopped. Man, yeah. The competition is not that good in this one.
So you think the competition
gonna run through the SWAC?
So you think it's not that good?
JSU is gonna run through the SWAC, and I guess maybe because of talent, maybe because Jack State talent is a little better, but I don't see no. If JSU don't beat themselves, I don't see nobody stopping them. Nobody.
You don't think Southern's gonna give them a game?
Oh, hell no. man, that was Arkansas Pine Bluff. Come on now.
So,
no.
Now, they might play them different. If it's a rivalry, they might play them differently.
They did not. Between this year and last year, it seemed like it's damn near the same team. They did not get better. No. I say this right here. The only competition, the only real competition we're gonna have is at the Celebration Bowl. That's the only thing that really kind of like got my antennas in the air. Is that damn Celebration Bowl. We got to beat the damn MEAC.
And who do you think is gonna come out to MEAC?
Probably North Carolina A&T. I don't see South Carolina State making it back, man.
You know, North Carolina A&T not in the MEAC. You mean NCCU?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I meant. But I don't see South Carolina State making it back because they done lost 2 in a row.
Well, you know they haven't started play yet. So
they haven't started conference play yet.
So it's pretty much 0-0 for everybody. Because these games have been out of conference games, so everybody's starting off with a clean slate. So
okay. So I just need to keep an eye on that then.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. So we don't really know who's gonna win just yet.
And then like next week against Alabama, what was it, Alabama State?
Yeah.
I'm like Prime. Who was the fool that scheduled Deion Love for their homecoming? And I'm out.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the call.
All right, man.
All right.
Hey, one last question. So you think Mr. Ford gonna chime in tonight?
He might. I haven't talked to him today, but I did tell him that I was gonna be on this weekend after the games. So he should be calling tonight. So we'll see.
All right. Well, I'm about to go get my Tito's and kick back and listen to you. I'm gonna holler at you.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
The MEAC will suddenly be weak. Right. All right, the phone lines are open, y'all. 657-390-4814. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Yeah, who thought it was a good idea to schedule Jackson State for Alabama State homecoming? I think they just wanted to get some revenge on Jackson State. Jackson State beat them up on their homecoming, so they said, all right, we're going to schedule them next year for our homecoming and try to get our revenge. But you don't want to go down there and get blown out on your homecoming. You don't want to get a 60-piece on your homecoming. And I think that's what Jackson State is going to try to do. I think they're going to try to ruin Alabama State's homecoming. Yeah, Campbell is 2 games away. JSU needs to focus on Bama State. Right. If you're Grambling, man, wondering why would you not bet on JSU? All right, y'all. The phone lines are open. You want to call in, let us know what you thought about the games today. Do you think Jackson State should be worried about Campbell? Campbell looks good. Campbell blew out NCCU today. The trenches, man, it's going to be a war of the trenches when they play. Dwayne, appreciate that contribution. I appreciate that. We good at Jackson State. Only teams might give us a problem is Alcorn and JSU. Yeah, I think that Alcorn game is going to be the Alcorn game is definitely going to be a big game to watch because it's a rivalry game. It's a rivalry game. They're going to get up to play Jackson State, and then it's going to be in Lorman too. So yeah, be prepared for that game to be a dog fight. NCCU was a fraud alert. JSU team is focused. They not listening to this. What's going to be your excuse when JSU win? We focused on the team. What's going on, KJ? KJ has been around for a long time. Shout out to KJ. She been watching me ever since I first started. I remember her name since I first started, and she's still checking in and supporting your boy. I really appreciate that, KJ. Thank you. Give me 1 second, y'all. All right, somebody just called and they hung up. What's going on? Caller just hung up. You can call back. That's the second time that person has done that. All right. We won, lost our homecoming. So is the game over with yet for Grambling, y'all? Did Grambling come back? I hope they come back, man. I would like to see Grambling win that game. Let me see. Oh, man. It's 34-14. And Lauren, you will be the same guy saying JSU don't play nobody when we beat them by 40. Sonny Boone, what excuse if y'all think y'all gonna blow Campbell? You smoking? But yeah, y'all, the phone lines are open 657-390-4814. If y'all want to call in, give your thoughts on the game, give your thoughts on what y'all think about what's going on in the SWAC. But yeah, so a lot of things have been put out there about Coach Prime leaving Jackson State. I don't think he's leaving. But they're relentless with their articles. Like I said, I just got a text from Yahoo Sports. Now that's the big sports platform, Yahoo News. If they're covering it, something's got to be going on, So I'm hoping that he doesn't even interview, but he might do his due diligence and interview for the position if they call him for an interview. Shedrick Wallace, thank you for the contribution. Appreciate that. But man, I just hate that this talk is going on. After any job that's going to come open, they're going to be saying Coach Prime is a candidate for the job. It's crazy, man. It's like we can't have anything. Anytime we get something good, they want to take it away from us. I'm convinced that some of y'all got beaten up a lot as little kids or something. What is going on? One HBCU I'm disappointed is TSU versus Lane. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. I think Eddie George might be in some trouble, y'all. I don't see him making it. I don't know. They might give him another year, but it's not working well in Tennessee State. You can't lose to Lane College. It's no excuse for that. There's no excuse to lose to Lane College. And then I was watching the highlights of the game. The Tennessee State players, they look uninspired. They look like they were barely giving any effort. I don't know. Eddie George might have lost their team. It just seemed to me like they just don't have it. Their backup QB wasn't good today. How much did South Carolina State get for that? Yeah, so if y'all didn't watch the game this week, South Carolina State went up against South Carolina. It was another money game. Y'all know I hate those money games because it's nothing but blowouts. But South Carolina refs, they were giving them a little bit of home cooking, y'all. They were giving them some home cooking. I was seeing some of those calls. I was like, I remember when one call, it was they ran into South Carolina State's kicker and they didn't even call a penalty on it. Erica Spearman, hey Sway Buzz, how are you doing? Hey, what's going on, Erica? Yeah, they didn't even call a penalty on it. So they was giving them some home cooking. It's not what you want, it's what Prime thinks is best for him and his family. Right. TSU has checked out on Eddie George. I hope not, man, because I really like Eddie George there at Tennessee State. So I'm really hoping that they get that ship right. But losing to Lane College, that might be a fireable offense. I don't know. Losing to a D2 school when you got all these recruits, these D1 recruits and stuff like that, you can't be losing to a Division II school. Are you Bama's not entertained? We focus on winning the SWAC, being taking care of business in the Celebration Bowl. This is Prime last year. His contract is up. Let the drama continue. We will see. We can't take Campbell lightly. Tennessee State team is done. Now they don't even have their biggest rival game. Drizzy says Tennessee State is going to be all right. Also, y'all, the phone lines are open if y'all want to call in, be on the show, and let everyone know what you thought about SWAC Week 5. You can talk about whatever game you want to talk about. If you want to talk about Jackson State and Campbell, you want to see how their game is going to go. Jackson State goes against Alabama State next week for their homecoming. If you want to talk about that, you can as well. 657-390-4814. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's get the likes up so we can get the stream out to more people. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate that MBAM Jake for the contribution. Thank you for that. All right, we got a call coming in. Give me 1 second, y'all. Oh, here's my guy. Calling in. What's going on, Mr. Ford? What's going on?
Hey, how's it going, man? I was trying to wait till the game was over, and I didn't want to have my attention split.
Yeah.
So a lot of people wanted me to call in, so I did want to call in. Let me turn this television off. Yeah, it's been a great day today. I've been watching football from 12 o'clock. I started off with Ole Miss and Kentucky till what time is it now? It's 10:37. So I've been watching. I don't know if that's healthy or unhealthy.
All day.
I've been watching football all day. I've been
Right.
watching FCS, FBS, whatever. How do you want to let me? You want me to just talk?
I want to know what you thought about this Tennessee State Lane College business. What is going on with that?
Well, it's like this. Football now, the most important position is quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And what people have to understand is you can't get one good quarterback. You got to have 5 or 6 quarterbacks. Now, Billy Joe told me when I talked to him, he said that the average school needs to have at least 6. Now, he told me his goal was to have 9. Now, Tennessee State was like that back in the 70s and the 80s. They would go out and recruit 8 and 9 quarterbacks and bring them to the campus. But it just goes to show you, quarterback now is the most important position on that football field. See, when I played football, basically what the quarterback did was he handed off to a big-time running back. And then we played, excellent defense. It's kind of like what Prairie View is doing. Prairie View is basically changed that whole thing from what Dooley was doing there, that pass-happy offense. He basically wants to run the football and play good defense and good special teams. Okay? That's what – and see, like a lot of people have said, if Shadu is injured, how would Jackson State play? I don't know. But I know one thing, you got to have good backups. I know that. You got to have good backups.
But they got a good backup there with that the other guy.
Yeah, you're talking about the boy from Ohio State?
Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I like him too. He can throw the football. I think it's another kid on that. One kid is from Texas, and he came from North Texas State.
Yeah, North Texas.
North Texas. I think he can throw that ball pretty good too. I just have to look at the roster. I don't have a roster in front of me. Yeah. But yeah.
Look like Grambling about to lose.
Let me say this about Grambling. I initially the first half I was just totally distraught. First thing came to my mind is I said, you know what, these boys are undisciplined. Okay, and the other thing I thought that they were uninspired by the coaches or by each other. But then that kid came in from Florida, from I can't think of it, but he's from Orlando. That kid sparked the team. Now, personally, I think Grambling just found their quarterback. Now, Blue told me this week, I was on Blue's show, and I told Blue I didn't think the Hawkins kid was the answer. He said from his analysis of the quarterback situation at Grambling, none of those kids were ready, which I totally disagree with. I think Grambling found their quarterback tonight. That kid can spark the team. Now, he's a freshman. He's a true freshman. But I think that's our quarterback right there. The kid that finished that Prairie View game tonight, that's Grambling's quarterback.
We'll see. Because they not gaining the G this week. What do you thought about Hugh Jackson taking the G out?
I don't even understand that. You know what? I don't know what that's even about. You're right. J official one. Calvez, is that how you say his name? Calvez. Yeah, that's the kid. I think that's our quarterback. I don't understand this about the G. Listen, I don't get that. I don't even know what that's about.
So they can't have the G on their helmet until they win the game. I guess
he said until they play inspired ball or they earn it or whatever. Now I don't understand. I don't know what that's about.
I guess he's trying to motivate them.
Motivation or what that's supposed to be. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, he's trying to motivate them. But everybody making that jokes about it. Everybody's calling them rambling state now. They're gonna make that jokes. Yeah.
But I saw a spark tonight. I tell you now, that Calvez kid. I'm gonna tell you something now. He can be worked with. Now. I saw some good things. But like I said, the first half, my whole thing is this team is undisciplined. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I saw was some coaching. Listen, we look terrible on special teams tonight. We look terrible. Oh, we look terrible on special teams. And a lot of that stuff was coaching. That was coaching. And I see some coaching holes. Yeah. But, hey.
What do you think about
y'all talking about these games. Now, one thing you're never supposed to do in sports, don't ever look ahead.
Yeah.
It's one day at a time. Jackson State's mind right now needs to be on Alabama State, not Campbell.
That's true.
Their mind needs to be on Alabama. One thing you don't do in sports now, don't do that looking ahead stuff.
Yeah.
That's
but you know, us as fans, we're gonna look ahead. We're not gonna do like the football players.
Hey, I hope the team. Listen, the fans can do it.
Yeah.
But the team don't need to do that.
Yeah, the team. They definitely need to stay focused.
And you're right. I was really impressed with Campbell's defense. Now, I met Mike Mentor once at, he was on the staff at Johnson C. Smith some years back. Mm-hmm. I met him. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy, knows his stuff, played at Nebraska. He's a household word in Charlotte. He played for the Carolina Panthers for a number of years. He is beloved in Charlotte. He's going to go bigger. He's going to go bigger. He's going to go bigger. But I'm looking forward to it. But for right now, for Jackson State, their mind needs to be on Alabama State. As far as Alabama State scheduling them for homecoming, I think that's about money. And the other thing, now personally, I might be wrong, but I think next week they will set a new attendance record at Hornet Stadium next week. That stadium holds something like 27,000. Listen, SWAC, I can easily see 35,000 people in there. That's their homecoming. Okay, you bringing in Deion Sanders, Shadua Sanders, Travis Hunter, and that Jackson State football team, that's 35,000 easily.
Yeah. And then they got a nice stadium too.
You know how much money they're gonna make?
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna make a lot of money. Then I like their stadium.
They make a lot of money.
They have a very nice venue.
35,000. You talking about $2 and $3 million to clear after you pay your bills. So listen, the day they had 18,000, it was 18,000 at Alabama A&M's homecoming. They played Bethune-Cookman. Remember last year, I think it was 27,000 because Jackson State was there. It's going to be more than that in Montgomery. Because listen, how many miles is between Montgomery and Jackson? Is it 2 hours or 3 hours?
It might be 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, that ain't no bad ride.
Yeah.
I know from here from Atlanta, it's only 120 miles.
Yeah, it's no more than 3 hours, I don't believe. So
yeah, man. Listen,
they definitely can make that drive.
People from Atlanta coming down there to that game. That's Interstate 85 from Atlanta to Montgomery. Matter of fact, the interstate runs right by the stadium.
Yeah.
That's right. Somebody said 26,000 seats. Listen.
2.5 hours.
I'm telling you now. You can look for 35,000 people in that. They're gonna be jam packed next week at that homecoming game. They're gonna be jam packed. They're gonna set a new attendance record next week.
Yeah, they already said some of the
records when they play Alcorn down there in Lorman.
Yeah, they already said that some of the tickets are sold out. I mean, a lot of the tickets are sold out already.
So I don't have a problem with Alabama State scheduling in Jackson State. That's money for them. I'm telling you, after they pay their bills, they're gonna clear $2 or $3 million. Yeah. I know they'll clear at least $2 million.
Yeah, so make sure y'all go to that game.
People. Huh?
I was telling the people, make sure y'all go to that game. That's going to be good one to go to.
Yeah, that's going to be a big game. And see, that's the closest they will come to the Atlanta area, other than that Celebration Bowl.
Right.
Okay. Listen, I don't know if it'll be the Jackson State crowd, but I know that when FAMU comes, they will do at least 20,000 because FAMU has to come to Montgomery this year. Listen, they gonna do 20,000 when FAMU comes up in there.
So,
but Jackson State will probably do 35.
Ms. Ford, so what do you think about all these big platforms doing this Coach Prime at Georgia Tech Auburn talk? What do you think about that? I'm so tired of it.
On what's his name show.
I'm so sick of it.
They want him out of Mississippi.
Yeah.
They want Deion Sanders off of that HBCU campus known as Jackson State. He's bringing too much notoriety to the school, to the state. See, Mississippi has always been a close society as far as the dominant culture because of the things they were doing down there, the war that they were waging on our people. And he's bringing too much. See, I still think, and I might be wrong on this, one of the reasons they were able to expose what Brett Favre has done and what Phil Bryant has done is because so many people are now covering Mississippi because of Deion Sanders. See, he's bringing a lot of microscope light on Mississippi. They don't want that. They don't want that. So they can continue to break laws and do this. Because like everybody's saying, I mean, you misappropriate $5 million for a volleyball gym, money that was set aside for poor people. You get $1 million or $2 million to speak. You don't speak, but you get the money. Okay? Then you say that this same fund, $77 million has been stolen. But at the same time, ain't nothing being said about nobody going to jail. What does that tell you? But as soon as one of these black kids steal $100 bond, they got to do a year in prison.
Right.
But these people stealing millions of dollars. But the first thing they say is, well, ain't nobody going to jail. Come on.
Yeah, it's
Man,
crazy.
They don't make no sense.
It's crazy. And just the
really
whole Georgia Tech Auburn thing, you got some of these big shows covering this. I was shocked to see that this week. I'm like, wow, y'all going full speed. You got all these articles being written. Y'all going full speed ahead.
Yeah.
They really are trying their best to get him out of Jackson. And I hope Coach Prime doesn't take the bait.
SWAC, Deion's name, as far as these journalists and these newspapers, these outlets, it's hot. They know that people want to hear about him.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, I'm in Atlanta. Georgia Tech's not interested in. Now the students might be, like I told Blue the other night, the students might be interested. But them old white men that's sitting in them suites that's worth millions and almost billions of dollars, they ain't getting ready to get their money to no Deion Sanders.
Right.
It's too many white men. See, coaching is like a fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They interested in people like Jamie Chadwell, that guy up at he's up here at Myrtle Beach at Coastal Carolina. Them the kind of people, that guy that's on Nick Saban's staff, the offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien, he once worked at Georgia Tech as offensive coordinator. Those are the people that they interested in. All of this talk about him coming to Georgia Tech, it's not going to work. First of all, see, one of the things that's got to happen at Georgia Tech, they need instant influx of talent. It's so hard to do that at Georgia Tech because they don't like transfers at Georgia Tech. Okay? Mm-hmm. They got a curriculum. They want them kids to come in there. They got to do calculus. They got to do, high forms of mathematics. There is no physical education. Georgia Tech is a hard sell now because it's an academic school. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I really think that's just talk. Like you're saying, I think it's just talk.
Yeah. And then Auburn, I don't see Auburn hiring a black coach.
No, I don't see that either.
Yeah.
Listen, why would you get Deion to come to Auburn when you can get Hugh Freeze, you can get one of them big time coordinators from the NFL or something like that, and then you say you're gonna get Deion Sanders? See, y'all need to understand, like I keep saying, on that Division I level, on that 1A Power 5 institutions, there's a pecking order. It's a fraternity. You don't just come out of nowhere and get those jobs. It doesn't happen like that. It does not happen like that. And a lot of this stuff is just talk. That's what it is.
Yeah, I wish they would stop because it's relentless right now. And I hope Coach Prime knows.
Well, they want him off of the black college. They want him out of Jackson State. They do. That's what they're trying to take because he's bringing too much publicity to these HBCUs, bringing too much publicity to Jackson State. They can't stand that.
So what you think is going to happen if you was to guess? What do you think is going to happen next year around this time?
Listen, I can't see him snatching Shadu up out of Jackson State. Shadu is doing great.
Yeah.
Shadu at Jackson State is getting as much individual attention as any kid at the University of Georgia right now.
Right.
And they got University of Georgia rated as the #1 school in the country right now. When you look at them polls, Georgia's #1. I heard somebody saying that they were probably going to get beat tonight or something.
Yeah, let me look at the score right now. I'm going to look at the score right now. Because Missouri been on let them come back. And they up over Missouri now, 26-22.
Oh, okay.
I told you.
Okay.
I told you. Missouri been choked. They don't know how to win.
Well, they shouldn't have never left the Big 12, but everybody knows they got in the SEC because of the money. You know, the SEC right now, when they do that conference payout, you're talking about $50 to $75 million. You know, they got the biggest. Them and that Big 10, their conference payout to them individual schools, man, it's big time money. That's why the ACC is having a problem now, and that's why the Pac-12 is having a problem. They can't give that big conference payout like the Big 10 and like the SEC. That's why everybody is trying to either get in the Big 10 or they're trying to get into the SEC. It's because of that conference payout.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Missouri don't know how to win. I knew them.
No. Missouri needs to go back to the Big 12. Nebraska needs to go back to the Big 12 too. All of them need to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
They used to be the Big 8 back when I was growing up, and then it became the Big 12 because they combined the Big 8 and the Southwest Conference. Okay? And so Missouri jumped over here and got in this SEC, which was wrong. And then Nebraska left the Big 12 and went Big 10, which was wrong, running behind money, like Maryland. Maryland ain't got no business in no Big 10. They can't compete nowhere. They're supposed to be in the ACC, and that's where they belong.
Right. Let me get this call. We got a call in.
Okay.
I mean, hold on just a second.
All right.
What's going on? Carly Live, talk to me.
Hello, SWAC Buzz. What's going on, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Got a question for Mr. Ford. I know he was a little critical of Jackson State's offensive line and the offensive line coach last year, and I wonder what did he think so far this year about the line and and the coaching. I'll hang up and listen to the response.
Okay, let me say this. First and foremost, they went and got some pros. That that Bro kid at center, them boys, they got pro material. That Evan Henry.
Thanks for the call.
And
go ahead, Ms. Ford.
See what Deion and those did. They went out and got kids who gonna get a shot at the NFL. Okay, and see, anytime you got them kind of players, that covers up bad coaching. So. That offensive line to me is a plus. Like I used to say, I thought last year was the worst part of the Jackson State team. I think that offensive line is a plus. Another thing I like how he's utilizing those tight ends. I love tight end offense. I hate it when they just all of this eliminate the fullback, eliminate the tight end. But the main thing that hurt me was the elimination of the tight end when you just got the 5 offensive linemen.
Yeah.
You know what? I like 7.
Yeah.
I like 5 offensive linemen and 2 tight ends.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Coach Brewster bought a lot of that. Well, he's helping with that.
That guy's a great addition.
Yeah.
He's a great addition. Now, I don't know how long they're gonna keep him, but they better enjoy him because he's really good with offensive line play, tight end play, and he's exceptional when it comes to recruiting. Now, I don't know how long Jackson's gonna keep him, but they better utilize him while they got him.
Right. And so, what do you think about people saying Jackson State might just go to FBS level to keep Deion? That they gonna do whatever they need to do to keep Deion, and if that's what he want to do,
you know what I always say, SWAC. You got to get the money right.
Yeah.
You got to get the money right.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get the money right now. Now the average, if you're gonna go, if the average in FCS is 16 million, the average in FBS is 66 million. If you're gonna go FBS, bring the money up. You got to get the money right.
Did you watch his Did you watch his interview on Earn Your Leisure?
Wait a minute now.
It was it's a podcast called Earn Your Leisure. It's two brothers. They talk about financial stuff, but they interviewed Deion, Coach Prime last week. He
made a serious point of what
he made some comments saying that if he goes to the FBS level, he's not trying to go to a baby conference. He's trying to bungee jump with the big dogs.
He was saying he wouldn't go to the Sun Belt. Yeah. If he was going, he's going to go to a Power 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that interview. Yeah, I saw that.
He's saying that he want to go somewhere that's going to make them straight. That's going to have them straight financially. Yeah. That they ain't going to never have to want for anything.
I can't see Coach Prime, Deion Sanders leaving until Shadua and Shallow out of there, and maybe the daughter. I definitely can't see him pulling Shadua. With Shadua,
Well, he
as
was
comfortable
talking.
as he is,
He was talking about Jackson
you know.
State when he said that he wanted if he goes to a bigger conference. He was talking about taking Jackson State
you
to a
talking
big
about the school? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was talking about taking the
But
school.
the only thing I say is this now: if they're gonna do it, they got to get the money right. Can't get around that.
Mm-hmm.
That if you're gonna go FBS, we got to come up with $66 million.
Yeah.
You got to have at least the average. Because see, when you start talking about Alabama and them kind of folk, the people spend $185 million. Texas spend over $200 million. Texas A&M spends over $200 million. See, so the average in Division I football is $66 million. I'm saying we got to at least have the average. The average is $66 million.
Yeah.
If we can't do $66 million, we need to leave that. We need to leave that alone. Somebody said Herm Ep was somebody Herm Ep. Yeah, I wish Herm would not. Now the guy that I really want, I wish he could help down there at FAM is Marvin Lewis. Now let me tell you something. They don't give him no credit. Marvin Lewis is a defensive genius, and I would love for him to come to the SWAC. Yeah. If Deion gonna bring in Zimmerman and Dennis Thurman, FAM, you need to go get Marvin Lewis.
All
okay.
right.
Yeah.
All right, we got another call. Let's see who this is. Okay. What's going on, Carly? You live? Talk to me.
Hey, it's LOL. How you doing?
What's going on, LOL? How you doing tonight?
I'm great. Mr. Ford, I got a question for you. You keep talking about money. They got to get the money up. They got to get the money up. Mr. Ford, where's the money coming from? It's Mississippi. It's JSU. Where is the money going to come from to keep Deion there? Deion is not about the money. I keep saying that. Deion is not about the money. So if you're talking about get the money up, where is it going to come from? Ticket sales? Where? Where is it going to come from, Mr. Ford?
Well, let me say this. If you're going to play 1A football, if you're going to move up from FCS to FBS, there's no way you can go around it. You got to have the money, okay? Because what's going to happen, you can go up into FBS without the money. Like right now, Jackson State's spending, I think, a little under $10 million, okay? But then you're going to find that you're lacking. There's going to be so many things that you're lacking that your competition will have, and they will have in abundance. So all I'm saying is this. If they're going to move up to FBS, they got to come up with more money. The budget has to increase. They can't get around that.
But Mr. Ford, where is the money going to come from? Please elaborate. Where is the money going to come from?
Well, if they're going to go FBS, then they got to find a way to come up with the money. But now listening to AD Ashley Robinson and listening to the president, I don't think they're leaving the SWAC.
Call up Stephen Campbell. I want you to call up. But LOL, let me tell you this. I wouldn't bet against Coach Prime. I wouldn't bet against Coach Sanders finding a way to get some money. If anybody can do it, if any coach can raise some money, it'll be him because he knows rich people.
Yeah, you're right about that. I just thought about it. Okay. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say because, you know, you guys are talking about money. You know, it's Mississippi. You know, they got some issues there. So I was just wondering where it's coming from. But it all makes sense when you just said he has celebrity friends, which, yeah. Mr. Ford, you're the best.
Thank you.
You're the best. You're the best. Thank you guys for letting me in tonight.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Okay, bye.
All right. Yeah. Coach Prime is a hustler, so I wouldn't be shocked that he can hustle up some money. You go, Mr. Campbell's calling up. Let's get Mr. Campbell on. Hold on.
Okay.
What's going on, Mr. Campbell?
Okay.
Mr. Campbell said this.
Of Jesus. Please, Jackson State. First of all, okay, I'm gonna be serious for a second. Let's talk about what that move would do, and let's talk about what Jackson State stand is and the legacy of the SWAC conference. Literally, if Jackson State leaves, that is the first step of the conference being destroyed. Because if Jackson State leaves, Southern and Grambling are gone. If Southern and Grambling are gone, Texas Southern Prairie View are joined into the Southland Conference. All that. Jackson State is not going to have on their shoulders that they destroyed the SWAC. They have too much pride in that conference. They have too much legacy in that conference, and they are not going to be the one. And then Jackson State, here's the crazy thing for Jackson State. To move up to play in the New Orleans Bowl, To do what? To play in the New Orleans Bowl? They're not going to the Big 12. They're not going to the ACC. They're not going. So they're going to go to the Sun Belt to what? To get $2-3 more million. If the SWAC would become what they should become, the big fish in the little pond, be the most dominant HBCU conference, get the players that we are used to, me and Mr. Ford have seen, and get those players. Guess what? People will watch them on TV. When you watch them on TV, you get them money. So now here's the thing. To all my Jackson State folks, everybody knows I'm from Jackson. Everybody knows I got 400 people that went to Jackson State. Here's the thing I think what Mr. Ford is saying, and this is to the Jackson State alumni, which I believe they can step up. It is 1,000 of y'all, they got $1,000. That's $1 million right there. That's what boosters do.
Yeah.
That happens at all the schools. I know 1,000 of y'all got $1,000. Hell, I know 200 of y'all right now on my phone I could call that Jackson State could get $1,000 if y'all just wanted to have a Coach Prime fund. So that does make sense because Coach Prime brings y'all $20-30 million. So why not invest in Coach Prime? That's just good business.
Yeah,
honestly,
we definitely need to find a way to get him paid. So let me ask you this. Hold on, Ms. Campbell. Let me ask you this. So FAMU went independent. What year was that they went independent?
96, 97, 98.
Okay.
No, so 2002 or 2001.
And it didn't work
somewhere. Yeah, late 90s.
And it didn't work out for them. Do you see Jackson State being able to do that with the cachet Coach Prime has and the amount of marketing and all that kind of stuff that they can bring with them? Do you see them being able to have a successful time going independent? What do you think about that?
Well, see, here's the problem. Mm-hmm. And this is what FAMU ran into it. It's the auxiliary things you have to do to move up. It ain't just the football that has to move up. Mm-hmm. Okay? Right. All the sports have to come. And then you got to start paying out all this money. And again, your budget is down, what, $11 million, $10 million athletically?
Yeah.
You're talking about you're going to have to jump that budget up to $30 to $40 million.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. So you're going to go out and play independent. And then I'm going to say this again. You can't be an independent. That doesn't work. Because think about it. If you go independent, then you're not part of any TV conference TV contract.
Right.
Just by Jackson State being the SWAC, guess what you guys get? No matter what Texas Southern does.
Let me ask you this.
Hold on. Jackson State basketball. Wait, hold on. Think about this. Texas Southern goes to the tournament, right? Mm-hmm. They win a game. They win another game. All the SWAC schools get a piece of that money. Jackson State goes independent. Their basketball team don't go to the tournament. You don't get no tournament money.
But
tournament money has a lot to do with. Go ahead.
But can't you be independent and affiliated with a conference?
Well, that's Notre Dame. Notre Dame is affiliated with the ACC, but the football is basically independent.
Yeah, but you could be affiliated with a conference though, because I think their football conference is like affiliated with somebody, right? To where they can play.
No, they're not. They're affiliated with all. They need. See, this goes back to the point though.
Okay.
They needed to be in a conference for baseball, soccer, basketball. They're women's sports. Because to get and what Notre Dame is basically doing, the double dipping. See, you can't compare Notre Dame to everybody else because Notre Dame is double dipping. They got their own independent TV contract, with NBC.
NBC,
okay, that pays them just as much as them being in the Big Ten or the ACC. Well, more than the ACC and just a little bit under that, which allows them to go play the service academies, SC, and all that.
Right.
But then what they do is then they still get to share in all that ACC basketball money.
Right. Yeah.
See, that's the difference. So Jackson State does not have that ability to dip and choose like that. And that's no disrespect to Jackson State. You got to know who and what you are. Jackson State is a proud SWAC member. And again, you're going to move up to do what? To go what? The Sun Belt? So that's what I'm saying. Where are you going to go? Because the question is, where are you going to land at? So you're going to go to the Sun Belt and go play in the New Orleans Bowl? Hell, you're going to have more people. It's more people that go to the Celebration Bowl to go to the New Orleans Bowl.
That's right. Yeah.
And then to get to the New Orleans Bowl, you got to win the conference. So that's the thing about it.
You make a lot of sense.
Why not? Hold on real quick. Why not build up Jackson State where it's getting to be the powerhouse where it's going to be? Where you're going to pack that stadium, 45, 50, 60,000 people. You go back to the commissioner and say, hey, make sure when we get our next primary deal, because they already got the secondary deal, that we get more money because Jackson State is just like Alabama. They want to show those games all day long. Then you know what? You got to make sure that you give us more money. But that's what Texas did. Texas
but
held the Big 12 hostage. They were like, no, you got to give us more money.
I think all this that we're saying is good, but you have to make Coach Prime happy. And if he doesn't want to continue to play at the FCS level, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to give him what he wants. Right?
Yeah, but no, hold on. But wait a minute. Jackson State is an institution of building. It can't just move on the whims of one man. It has got to do what's best, because Jackson State will be there 20, 30, 100 years later.
But you'll never get another opportunity like you got now. You will never find another coach like Coach Prime now. You'll never get this opportunity again.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. History time. And I'm saying this respectfully, okay?
Go ahead.
I don't want to hear all this fool in the chat. W.C. Gordon. Coach Prime has not matched what W.C. Gordon has done in this 5-year period, okay? W.C. Gordon had 16 NFL picks, 4th round or higher. W.C. Gordon went undefeated 5 straight years in the conference, won Black College National Championships, okay? So let's be clear. Let's not forget what Jackson State is. That's why some of us old heads and my people that look, Coach Prime still got a way to go. And I'm not saying that, and what we love about it is that he's getting it back to that. But Jackson State has a high bar that he's got to match.
Ms. Campbell, I understand.
16 NFL picks. 16.
I hear
in a 5-year period.
I hear
4 of those were first-round picks. Undefeated 5 years in the conference. And guess what? They were playing better competition back then, because Grambling had NFL players. Valley had NFL players. Alcorn had NFL players. You see the difference?
I hear everything you saying, but Coach Prime has made Jackson State brand bigger than it's ever been. Even with that history that you just saying, Jackson State brand wasn't as big as it is now. So you move heaven and earth to keep him. That's what I think.
Okay, let me ask you a question. All right. No, okay. All right. Fine. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna play. I'll run this with you. Okay. Jackson State moves up, and he's doing real well. What's gonna stop? Okay. And let's just play the game. Auburn, Georgia Tech, giving them $9-10 million. Y'all can't match that ever.
What do you mean?
Or Nebraska.
Okay. I mean, I feel like Coach Prime will work with a HBCU if they're trying their best to give him as much money as they can. You know.
But what I'm saying is, you give him $2 million, and they give him $10 million. And Shadur's graduated, the kids have graduated, and he's done this. And I'm just saying. So what I'm saying, I don't see why Jackson State. I just think that Jackson State is in such a unique position of being a big fish in a small pond, bringing all that attention, dominating the SWAC, putting pros in there, and can still get the same amount of money at prestige, because SWAC wasn't asked you again, what conference are they going to go to?
I mean, that's
where
true.
Are they going to go?
I mean, Sunbelt would be the only thing realistically I could see, but from what he said on Earn Your Leisure, he said he wants to go to a conference that's going to make sure they're straight. That's what he said.
Financial. Where you want to go has $25 million. So that means if they're gonna go Sunbelt, they got to come up from the 10 to 25, right? And that's what I'm saying. They got to come up with more money if they're gonna go Sunbelt, because the average Sunbelt team has $25 million on athletics.
Mr. Campbell, I want you to call in. I want you to call in a little later so we can finish the conversation. But I got other callers.
No problem. Hey man, like I say, man, I love the show, Mr. Ford. Good to hear from you, man. But like I say, hey man, Jackson State, y'all stay where y'all at. Be the big fish in a small pond and get all that money.
All right, all right. Thank you for the call. All right, let me get the next person. What's going on, Caller? You live? Talk to me.
What's up, Sweat?
What's going on?
And I was just listening to y'all, man. Everybody got some valid points. I'm young in this, so I got family that was just there. So just to hear the story, what has transpired over the years before me. I'm just used to the Rick Commentary area. That's the area I'm used to.
Yeah.
But I can say this. Yes, Deion has made a lot of change, and we do deserve better, but. Y'all, we keep forgetting what state we live in. We live in Mississippi, where you got the big wigs, they want to stay rich, and the one that's under us, they don't look at the HBCU. They never looked at the HBCU shoes in Mississippi. The only thing they looked at is the PWIs. They weren't trying to give us enough money. They weren't trying to give us nothing. They were just focused on Mississippi State, Southern Miss, and Ole Miss. And that's who our governor likes and all the rest of them. Because I remember they had his interview when he was down here in Harrisburg. He said, thank God he ain't in Jackson. And then he said something about Jackson State saying, I'm not for the new stadium for Jackson State.
Who cares though?
Right there.
Who cares what the governor thinks? You know, like the governor, I mean, he had, you know, he could do some things. He can help Jackson State a lot if he wants to, but Jackson State already knows how racist the government is in Mississippi. So whatever plans Jackson State got going on in the future, they're not going to be looking for the government to help them with that. They're going to be trying to go outside of the government to get the funds and whatever that they need. What you got to say about that, Mr.
And they gonna definitely have to do that. Definitely, I believe that, because that'll show that that'll be an example, and that's gonna be the biggest turnover that any HBCU done, and then they not gonna like that. They're not gonna like that. So that's the biggest point. We don't need your money. We're gonna show that we don't need your money. We don't need nothing. Deion, like you said, Deion can pull the string. If it comes about in a couple of years. Oh, Jackson State done got so good that we want to try something else. But what I really want though, one day, when he said he get out of that beef on that offensive line. We play on Ole Miss or Mississippi State, go down the wire with them, and we take a dub or we gonna lose. We definitely say that we own Mississippi. That's all I have to say about that.
All right.
See how they feel about that thing.
All right, thank you. Appreciate the call. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get to the next caller. Hold on just a second. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Listen, I'm a first time caller, man. Listen to you guys. Love what you talk about. I think we need to start listening to Coach Prime. He's speaking subliminally, I think. He's not talking about leaving the SWAC at all. I think he's talking more about improving. Think about this. He said, why should I go to a conference and then we still need money? He's talking about he would have to go to the SEC, the Big 10 conference, or Big 12, to get money to fund the entire program. And you know those folks not going to allow him in there. They're not going to let him there. So I think and then if you listen to some of his other conferences, I heard him say one time in an interview, if I go, shouldn't I take my brother with me? And that means bringing the SWAC up. I think the SWAC can, at least some members, because he said another time that
everybody can't go.
Yeah, everybody can't go. And
everybody's not ready.
Some guys going to have to make some tough decisions.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you remember he said that some of the guys in the SWAC going to have to make some decisions.
Right.
And I think they might try to make a power conference. And man, our culture is rich. The culture itself is rich.
It is.
And that's what I think. And he's a forward thinker. And I think that's what he's talking about, building it and getting the money from our culture ourselves. Just if you listen to him, I don't think he's talking about going to those conferences at all. I really don't. I think he's a smart man. He's not playing his card. He's going to keep everybody guessing. But if you listen to him, I think you can hear what he's saying. By the way, SWAC Buzz, I'm from D.C., so I know you say you're from this area, man.
Yeah,
but,
where I'm from Jackson, but I live in this area. I live in this area. Yeah.
So I think we're too quick in judging whether he's going to leave and go to another conference. He tells you all the time that it's not going to change his lifestyle.
Right.
But he's worried about assistant coaches. So if you listen to him now, he wants to springboard his coaches to maybe those other situations, and he just bring in more coaches and train them up, and just keep that moving until they develop enough money for the conference. Then they can compete like that. He tells you all the time he's not, man. He don't want to play the guys. So if he doesn't want to play them, I think we need to step back, stop being so emotional. Our race of people have become very emotional over the years. I think we need to step ourselves back. We need to step back, man, relax. Stop complaining. Stop trying to run him away and ride with him. He needs cooperation from everybody. You give him the cooperation, I guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee it, but, he's going to build something special, man. Not just him. I'm talking about with his brothers. But we got to stop being so emotional and allow the man, work with the man, because you see what he's done in 2 years. In just 2 years. Imagine him 10 years with everybody supporting him.
Yeah.
Just imagine that. 10 years. And his coaches are going to move on. You know those guys, man. Half of them head coaches already. I mean, they ready to be head coaches.
Yeah.
He wants to push them to where they need to go, and he just be, he keep training them up until we can get the money. He's a forward thinker. Thinks very well. Listen to him. Just listen to everything and stop complaining. I ain't talking about you personally. I'm just talking about the people in general. Stop complaining and just listen, work with him. I went to Talladega. I didn't stay long, but and then UDC. I played on the first UDC baseball team.
Oh, okay.
Which is HBCU. But man, we gotta leave this emotion alone, man. It's sickening to listen to. It really is. It's sickening to listen to us complain about every little thing. He get a coach here, you cry about that. He do this, you cry about that. Man, let that man do what he's doing. And let's support him.
I got you. Let me get to the next call, though, but thank you for calling. All right, appreciate the call.
Bro.
All right.
Right.
You said y'all need to start complaining. All right, let me get to this next person. What's going on, Carly Live? Talk to me.
Yes, I just want to respond to the previous callers concerning the state of Mississippi with the Jackson State Stadium situation.
You said the Jackson State what stadium?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And if you think about it, Jackson State holds all of the cars because the state wants that land. The only thing Jackson State got to do is just announce that they plan on to remodel or upgrade that stadium, and I bet that state will come up with that money then.
Yeah, I mean,
because they want that land.
I mean, that's true. You talking about the hospital? They want to build a facility on the land. I don't know. I don't know if the government would even really hit the gas if Jackson State did something like that. They probably just waited out. I feel like they don't care about Jackson State getting the stadium. That's just my personal opinion. I feel like they don't care. They just really doing it because they have to do it pretty much. And so they prolonging it because they should have made a decision on this earlier this year. But you see, they didn't. It's in limbo right now. So I don't know. I don't trust the state. I'm just being honest with you. I don't trust the state. That's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that was my comment. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the call. What you think, Mr. Ford? You think the state is gonna move forward with that? I think they just gonna keep prolonging it and prolonging it. I really don't have my hopes up for that.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was introduced to Veteran Stadium back in the mid '80s. I love Veteran Stadium.
Yeah.
I know it's 11 miles from the campus, but I think it's the premier stadium because of the size, the history, and what Mr. Campbell was talking about. And I saw that when I was at Grambling 2 or 3 years when nobody could beat Jackson State, and I know what he's talking about. I would just like to see Veterans Memorial renovated, and I'd like to keep it as Jackson State's home stadium. Now, I know some people would say, well, we need a stadium on campus. I understand that too. But I think that I just think that Veterans Memorial, to me, that's the premier stadium in HBCU football. You're talking about a stadium that holds 50 to 60,000, and I just wish they would just renovate it, just refurbish it, and we go for now. Because I've always loved Veterans Memorial.
Let me say this to the people in the chat. Make sure y'all hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed yet. We got over 300 people in the room right now. We should have way more than 100 likes. We had 100 likes right now. So make sure y'all hit that like button. It's very important for y'all to do that. All right. And my moderators kind of watch the chat a little bit. When you got these trolls coming in to cause confusion and stuff in the chat, time them out if you have to. But let me get to this next call. The person just hung up. The person that just hung up, you can call back. So, I mean, what Mr. Campbell was saying, I agree with him. I would like to see the SWAC, just build up and go up. But we have to be realistic. They have to do whatever they can to keep Coach Prime. That's just my opinion. Whatever he wants, they need to do.
And I think they're going to do that. Like I've said over and over, the marriage between Jackson State and Coach Prime, to me, was a marriage made in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
After the Comedy era, it was chaos and confusion at Jackson State with football. The Harold Jackson era, then you go to the Tony Hughes era. To me, it was just awful. And what he's done, he's put Jackson State at his rightful place. Because when I was in the SWAC, it was all about Jackson and Grambling. And like he talked about them undefeated years, I remember the team that broke that streak, because like I said, Jackson went 3 or 4 years undefeated in the SWAC. It started, I think, in '85. And the team that broke it was Jackson State invited Southern for their homecoming. And Southern had a kid named Nate Harrison. And they beat Jackson. It was like a crowd of about 55,000. And that was the first time Jackson had lost a SWAC game, I know, in 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
That was around '88 or '89. And I was, like I said, I remember that stuff that Mr. Campbell was talking about, the guys that came out, the John McKenzie's, Carl Blue. It was so many of them, Chris Burkett.
Right.
Leon Sachs Seals, just so many of them.
Right. Let me get this other call.
Yeah.
Hold on just a second, Mr. Ford.
Okay.
Let me get this person on. What's going on? Caller, you live. Talk to me.
Right, bro. What's going on tonight, man?
Going great. How you doing?
Doing well. Hey, quick question. Would you mind if I kind of threw in a political opinion in here real quick in this discussion?
Go ahead.
Okay, so I know I'm seeing a lot of comments about we need to vote the governor out. We need to get out and vote Mississippi. But for folks that are not from the state, Mississippi
hold on. Let me say
okay.
something. Let me say something real quick.
Yeah.
Caller that just hung up, call back. I wonder, was that the mayor of Jackson? Because Lumumba was the last name. So if that was the mayor of Jackson, make sure you call up. We would love to talk to you if that was the mayor of Jackson. Go ahead, caller.
Well, if that was the mayor of Jackson, let me
yeah,
tee it up for him really good.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be. We'll see.
Right. So check this out. So Mississippi is undoubtedly a solid red state.
If you look at the demographics of Mississippi, you're talking what 60-ish percentage of white, white / Caucasian, and the other upper 30s, 30 maybe 36% black. So from a demographic standpoint, from black to white to black, however you look at it, it's majority white state. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on what side of the spectrum you fall on, most of the white people in Mississippi vote Republican. So that's just a fact. From a Democratic perspective, most, of course, 95% is going to vote Democrat if they're black.
Mm-hmm.
So you're already kind of fighting an upward battle. So we're not in one of these states like North Carolina or Georgia or Florida or Texas where you can have a whole bunch of people in the middle that can swing the election either way based on what's going on in the current climate. You have a disadvantage built in right there. And so when you're looking at, our people trying to, and it's more so for folks that live outside of Mississippi, it's not as easy to vote Tate Reeves out of office because the deck is already stacked against us. Now, like I said, tee it up, this is just my opinion. Now, if you want to get Tater Tot out of office, several years back when Chris McDaniels was running against Thad Cochran, Mississippi has what they call, open primaries. So you can be a Democrat and vote on a Republican ticket or vice versa. So if you're serious about trying to get him out of office, you're going to have some sort of Republican that has crossover appeal, that can go after the Republicans in Tupelo, they can get the Republicans on the coast, get the Republicans in the metro area, Madison, Rankin County. That's going to be kind of what you would call anti-Tate movement.
Carter, let me get you let me get you to hold on for me. I want to see who this other caller is. Hold on. Hold up just a second. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Yes, sir. I wanted to call in about what's going on with the Deion talk as far as moving to a bigger conference.
Oh, okay.
And am I live?
Yeah, you're live. Yeah, you live. Go ahead.
Okay.
I thought you was somebody else because you had the same name as the mayor. So I thought
I do.
Yeah, so I thought that was who that was.
That's why I got in?
No, you good.
Well,
you good. You go ahead.
The name finally worked for me. I'm originally from Jackson.
Yeah.
I was born and raised on the west side off of Lynch Street. Went to Jackson State. Mother worked at Jackson State for 30 years. My father worked at Jackson State. So I've seen Jackson State football my whole life. I remember watching Jerry Rice and Willie Totten come in and play against W.C. Gordon. Now, what I want to say is this. Some callers are talking about the SWAC, the tradition of the SWAC. We have to find a compromise because I'm willing to let go of the SWAC for Deion. And I feel like with the big PWI, the Power 5 conferences, switching conferences, there are a lot of hungry big conferences out there that's looking for a marketing tool. The Big 12 is going to be hurting. Okay? Now, I'm not talking about the Sun Belt, but if it goes to the Sun Belt, now the question comes up about how do you get the money? Sponsorship. I would also want to throw in, as far as TV deals, what's the possibility of getting a TV deal with Oprah and her network to, like NBC has in Notre Dame, for the football program, right? If you stayed in the SWAC to build up your money, and then at some point, either the SWAC, some of the schools from the SWAC go to another conference, a bigger conference, or not, because eventually, you can see it right now, we outplaying the SWAC. And Deion has to move up to a next level to achieve the greatness that he's looking for, not just for himself, but for the HBCUs. Now, it's on these other coaches and other programs to recruit like Deion. But let's be realistic. They can't recruit like Deion. This is prime time. You walking in. I was talking to my brother earlier. Eddie George can't even recruit like prime time. You can't find too many. Jerry Rice, as great as he is, can't recruit like Prime Time. They just don't have that type of swagger.
Yeah, he a different animal.
So, right. So eventually, we gonna outgrow the SWAC. They can't. We beating up on them, and it serves Jack. It starts to hurt Jackson State because they like, well, look who you playing. Well, yeah, look who we playing. We trying to get. We need to give the SWAC schools at least maybe 2 years as we develop this, because it's not a big jump to go to another bigger conference. But we need to give them 2 years to try to 2 or 3 years to try to get their recruiting going. But if you can't recruit and stay on the level with Jack State, do we need to be held back? You know, eventually, what we bringing in is going to dominate the SWAC so bad that it's going to make us look bad. To keep playing, it's like we playing kids. Eventually, with our talent is what's going to have to what's going to dictate us moving to the next level. Now, let's talk about the necessary things we have to do to move to the next level, and are we all on board with that? I know we need unity, but I can't include all the SWAC schools in this unity because they cannot recruit at the same level that we can recruit now. Right. Jack State never has been like this. I go back to 98. I think that was the last year that we had. I think we won. I mean, we lost one game and we went to the playoffs, right? And we lost in the playoffs. That was the year they had Sean Taylor, Carlos Knight. They had an amazing defense. That was the last year we went there, and I remember the vibe we had when we went to the FCS playoffs, thinking we got a chance. It's different now. I think we can go to the FCS and whoop up on people. Literally, whoop up on them.
We'll
see. Our talent eventually, and now this is only his second year recruiting. We're looking at what he's brought in and what he continues to bring in. Eventually, our talent is going to outstrip our say at Jackson State. And these other schools, they might get 1 or 2, but we're getting 15, 20 good players coming in. So we can't keep playing these teams. Now, my compromise is this. If you move to a bigger conference, let's just even say the Sun Belt, right? Where's the money going to come in at? Well, if you're not a part of the TV deal with the Sun Belt to get that money, then you do your own independent thing, or you make your own TV contract. Well, let me backtrack. If you're in the Sun Belt, you have to be in their TV deal, right?
Right.
So that means you're sharing that money, right?
Right. That's true.
Okay. Now, the added thing is Deion, unlike other coaches, can bring in sponsorships. He already has sponsorships just helping with Jackson State. Okay. He's developing this package that ESPN want to put on TV, especially if they're playing against better schools. The thing that I'm saying is eventually it's going to happen because the talent is not going to be there. That's it. Can you imagine the Alabama playing in the SWAC with the talent that they have? Eventually, that's where we're headed. We can't let the SWAC hold us back. Like, I'm sorry, and Deion can't recruit for other schools. In a way, he is putting a highlight on the HBCUs.
All right, my bad, caller. I didn't mean to do that, but let me go to the next person. My bad, caller. I didn't mean to hang up on you. Caller, you still there? Are you still there?
Hey, Swag brother. Yeah, I'm still here, Swag brother.
Yeah, you go ahead and finish up your point, and then I get to the other caller. Go ahead.
Yeah. Real quick, Lumumba's cousin does make a good point. We do gonna have to start thinking about, if we're going to perhaps have to leave. Now, granted, I've been following this in 1989 since I was 4 years old. But at the same time, there's another spectrum where, if you think about the Howards and the Spelmans and the Morehouses of the world, how a lot of their graduates, alums have done extremely well in corporate America and other disciplines that they pursue. Yeah, they're HBCUs, but when they get ready to make strategic partnerships with other companies and other institutions, they go out and do it on their own. There's not a real focus on, we need to slow down so Miles College can catch up or Fort Valley can catch up. No, they go in all the way. So that's just some food for thought from their perspective. But back to kind of like the political arena, it's going to have to take some other Republican out there that's going to have that crossover appeal that can get blacks motivated to perhaps vote for that particular person, or from the and kind of get back to my strategy here. When Chris McDaniels ran against Thad Cochran, a lot of blacks jumped over and voted for Thad Cochran, which pretty much assured that he was going to win the election that year, right? So in order to kind of get Tater Tot out, hopefully there's a Republican, maybe like what's his name, Philip Gunn, that's the Speaker of the House. Maybe he's in a position where he can challenge him. And if that's a situation where he wants to primary Tater Tot, then jump in the board and vote for Philip Gunn, so that way you can kind of get Tater Tot out of there. Now, is Philip Gunn better than Tater Tot? I don't know. We don't know. Only thing that goes into the hat for Philip Gunn is that, when that new school of engineering was built, he was pretty much on campus all the time trying to, get his picture around anything that's Jackson State related. Same thing with Roger Wicker and stuff. So you kind of see where that's going. But
all right, Carl, I'm gonna have to cut you short because I got to get these other calls. But just call in on the next show and we can talk about that. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
All right,
Y'all
appreciate
take care.
It. All right. The other caller hung up. Mr. Ford, you still there?
Yeah, still there.
Okay. Yeah, I know a man was trying to get into the political arena. I know people just come here to talk football. Y'all ain't really trying to talk politics, but I appreciate the call, caller, because that is important. We do need to really put our emphasis on voting because that has a lot to do with what's going on at these schools. But let me get to this other call. Hold on just a second.
Okay.
What's going on, Carl? You live? Talk to me. What's going on, Carl? You live? Talk to me. Yeah, I got you on.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
So it's PNC King from Chicago. Thanks for hosting these shows, man. I'm enjoying the shows, and thank you. Shout out to Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford was, the historian. So, but yeah, man. I just want to talk about, you guys talking about Deion Sanders, leaving the conference and everything like that. To me, I don't think he's gonna leave. If he does, I'll take a look at Texas, man, because I think that's where he's at right now. Coach, what was that guy that the reporter? Was it Meany, whatever like that? He's out in Texas, man. He looked at some of his interviews. He said,
"You said Texas."
Jackson.
Hello. You said Texas. You said Texas and Texas Longhorns.
No, not Texas Longhorns. This is a school in Texas. If any school, I'll be thinking SMU, because that's where Travis and what's his name was training at.
Nah,
but anyway, he's got a home out in Texas, so that's where he's at right now. He said Jackson State is not his home.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my home right here. So it's like, because we got a plot of land he's building up on in Texas. So he be having media out there, and that reporter, I forgot his name, that went to SMU out there. But anyway, I think it's probably maybe a Texas school. But anyway, either one, they got a whole bunch of them. But anyway, man, what do you guys think about him, his recruiting and everything like that, as far as him getting that international player? Thank you.
Oh, you talking about that?
That just goes to show you his reach. He's international. You just said he's international.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to end. I think that's going to increase.
I actually think they need to. I know it might take a lot of money to do this, but if you watch the NFL, they go over to Africa and they get these guys from Africa with the measurables, and they kind of train them on how to be football players. So they get these guys. I was thinking one day, what if HBCUs could do something like that? Go to Africa and get these big guys with all these tangibles and kind of teach them how to play football. Let them come over on a scholarship or something like that and play. And there go your advantage right there. You got, you're getting guys from the motherland. But I thought that was interesting. But I forgot what it's called. It's the NFL. I can't remember what it's called, but the NFL, they go over to Africa and they go into these villages and they find these guys that's like 6'5", 6'6", 200 something pounds, and they teach them how to play football and they put them in a draft and let teams draft them. Well, let me see what this other call is.
There's a team out in Washington called the Gonzaga Bulldogs. You know, they always keep a lot of African kids.
Mm-hmm.
They get a lot of African kids from Europe and from Africa.
Yeah.
That guy's name is Mark Few. He does a good job of bringing in African kids from Europe and from Africa.
Academy, yeah, that's what it's called, the NFL Academy. Jay Fisher said it. Let me see what this other call is. Hold on just a second. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me.
Okay, listen, I basically hear everything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I hear what everybody is saying about Deion moving over to the Sun Belt or whatever the case may be. But I really don't, I don't think, me personally, I don't think that they're at that point yet. Just like he says, maybe next 2, 3 years, maybe so. What you think?
You said. Well, now what are you asking now? Ask your question again.
Okay, what I'm asking is do we think that Jack State is ready at this point in time to move over right now?
I mean, they might not. They might not be ready, but what we're saying is they may have to do whatever Coach Prime wants them to do, and if he wants to go, you got to go. If you want to keep that train running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that which brings me to this point. We understand. We totally understand that they are very dominant right now.
Right.
There's no ifs, ands, buts about that. They're kicking butt left and right.
Mm-hmm.
And anything get in their way right now will get ran over. And he's going to make an example once again. It's coming up Saturday out of Alabama State. Remember the last time somebody scheduled them for homecoming, what that turned into.
Right.
So I don't think nobody needs to argue with that thing. That's why he said what he said. But like I said, I feel like they do need to move up. I do feel like they need to move up. It's time. It is time for that. As far as the stadium and stuff is concerned, if they want a stadium on campus, that's one thing. But to renovate the vet, which is historic within itself, to renovate the vet, I think would be great. It would be a great deal. Maybe add some more to the open end, close it on in, and give him a turf field. He practiced on one. So why not just give him everything that he needs in order to be successful and to get the revenue in and things of that nature? But yes, they are dominant right now. We all want to see him play against the Alabamas or the other teams. My question comes here, and then I'm gonna let you go back to your callers. He has a choice to make. They go undefeated. Are we going Celebration Bowl? Or are we going for the Natty?
Oh, he already said,
my big thing.
He already talked about that. He said he's going to the Celebration Bowl because they pay out. The FCS playoffs don't pay nothing. Caller that just called from Baltimore, you can call back. Caller just called from Baltimore. But yeah, he already talked about
it. And I do exactly. I do agree with that because it's unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfinished business. So I see them going all the way undefeated this year and not a blemish on their record. I just don't see. I don't see nobody beating. Anybody see this? Tell me about it. But I definitely don't see nobody beating.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Thank you for that time.
All right, thank you. Yeah, caller that just called from Baltimore and hung up, you can call back and I'll put you on. Phone lines are open 657-390-4814. I'm gonna take a few other calls and then we'll shut it down tonight. Mr. Ford, what you got going on over there Are you still with us?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this game in Montgomery. Like I said, I think that a record will be set. I know for a fact that they can jam in 35,000 if they want to.
What you think the
I
score
thought
gonna
it was
be?
a good move. Huh?
What you think the score is gonna be? You can
I think Jackson blows them out big.
Predict it. Oh.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's gonna be close. I think that in the second half, because Jackson, whatever they do in the first half, they triple whatever what they do in the second half.
Right. You think it's 60 or 50, 40? What you thinking 40, 50, or 60?
Thinking, possibly 50. Yeah. I think it's going to get ugly. If Alabama State is able to stay close the first half, I'll be proud of them. But I think it's going to get ugly. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I would hope they play a good game, because you don't want to lose a homecoming like that. You don't want to go out on your homecoming like that. And then the jokes that's gonna be flying all week on them. I would just hate to be an Alabama State alum if that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, Daryl Smith said, Mr. Ford, I'm trying to get that, Daryl. That's as close as they're gonna come to us, other than the Celebration Bowl. I'm gonna try to be there, because I really would like to see them with my own eyes. Because see, when you watch people on television, there are certain things you can't see, and I'd like to see the program, in front of me.
Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button if y'all haven't hit it yet, so the stream can get out to more people. So make sure y'all hit the like button. I think we are, what we looking at right now. Let's see. We at 162. We got 342 people in here. Let's try to get it to over 200. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Mr. Ford, so what games are you going to this year?
Now I'm trying to get to this one this weekend in Montgomery.
Okay.
I want to see them. I want to see them with my own eyes. Like I said, we see them on television, but I want to see them in person, because there are things that you can't see on that television that you can see in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that I'll get a chance to go down there.
That's only a 2-hour drive for you, right?
Yeah, it might not be that far. I think it's 100, maybe 120.
Oh yeah,
might not be 2 hours.
You can make that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna try to get down there.
You might want to get that ticket now, though.
I'm gonna be shocked now if this game is not a sellout. I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah.
Because this is much closer for Jackson than it is to go to Huntsville. Because does the interstate run straight from Jackson to Montgomery, or is that 2 lane?
Yeah, they can go straight to Jackson from. They can go straight to Montgomery from Jackson. Because I just looked it up just a minute ago. They can take.
Yeah, you're right, Lawson. That's right. It's a turnaround trip for me.
Yeah, they could take I-20 and then get off on get on Highway 80 all the way to Montgomery.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm gonna be shocked now if this game is not a sellout. I'm gonna be really shocked. I really think they should set a new record.
And Montgomery is a good city to go and travel. They got stuff in Montgomery, so I wouldn't be shocked.
You got Prattville right there too. Don't you have Prattville? And 20 miles up the road, isn't it Tuskegee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
80 East.
Because you hit Auburn, whether it's Opelika, Alabama, Auburn, Tuskegee, and then Montgomery, I think.
Right.
Yeah. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of them J-State people coming out of Atlanta now, because that's nowhere from here.
Yeah, it's a lot of Jack State people in Atlanta. Well,
yes, they are, baby. I've worked with about 5 or 6 of them.
But yeah, we had a good show tonight. You want to go and close us out? You can go ahead and close us out, Ms. Ford.
Oh yeah, listen. Like I said, I don't want the people to look too far ahead. It's the next game that's the most important game. Jackson State's emphasis has to be on Alabama State. Can't worry about Campbell yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know that they're watching them and scouting them, but those players right now, their mind has to be on Alabama State. The next game is the most important game.
All right.
Listen, y'all have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ford. You're always welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. All right, y'all. Well, that was another show. I'll be dropping other videos this week and going live as well. I'll let y'all know when I go live. But man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all haven't hit it yet. And man, I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. I might do one. Let me see. Now somebody want to call in. Y'all know y'all get on my nerves. Y'all wait till the end of the show. Let me answer. I'm gonna answer the call. What's going on, caller? You live? Talk to me. Then they hung up. Y'all wait till the end of the show to call in. Then they hung up. I would have took your call. I answered the call. Caller, you done hung up. But anyway, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. But anyway, y'all, I appreciate y'all tuning into the channel. I'll be dropping other videos this week, and I might go live Tuesday or Wednesday, and then we'll do a pregame show as well. But man, like I said, make sure y'all hit that like button to get the stream out to more people, and subscribe to the channel if y'all haven't subscribed yet. And I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. I'm gone.